Whoa, whoa, whoa. Miserable Paphlagonian. Ever since that new slave entered this house, he has never stopped belaboring us with blows.
May the plague seize him! The art feed him and his light tails!
Poor friend, what is your condition?
Very wretched, much like your own.
Then come, let us sing a duet of groans in the style of Olympus. Bah! It's lost flavor to weep. Enough of groaning. Let us consider now how to save our hides.
But how to do it? Can you suggest anything?
No, you begin. I cede you the honor.
By Apollo, no, not I. Come, have courage, speak, and I'll say what I think.
Ah, but would I tell you what you should tell me?
I dare not. How can I express my thoughts with the pomp of Euripides?
It's enough. Don't pelt me with those vegetables, but find some way of leaving our master.
Well then, say, let us bolt.
I follow you. Let us bolt.
Then, after let us bolt, at top speed.
At top speed.
Landed, just as if you were masturbating. Slowly let us bolt, quick and firmly, at top speed.
Let us bolt. Let us bolt at top speed.
Ah, does that not please you?
Why, indeed it does. But I fear your omen bids no good to my hide.
How so?
Because masturbation chafes the skin.
Well, at this moment, the best thing we can do is put ourselves to the feet of a statue of some guy.
Of which statue? Of any statue? Do you then believe that there are gods?
Certainly.
What proof have you?
That they have a grudge against me, is that not enough?
I'm convinced that it is. But you pass on. You consent to my telling these spectators of our troubles.
There's nothing wrong with that, and we might, by their manner, they can show us whether our facts and actions are to their liking.
I will begin then. We have a very brutal master, a perfect glutton for beans and most bad-tempered. It's Demos of the Knicks, an intolerable old man and half-deaf. At the beginning of last month, he purchased a slave, a Paphlagonian tanner, an errant rogue, the incarnation of calumny. This man of leather knows his own master thoroughly. He plays the fawning cur, flatters, wheedles, cajoles, and dupes him at will with little scraps of leavings, which he allows him to get. He will say, "Dear Demos, try a single case and you will have done enough. Eat, swallow, devour, here are 3 obols." Then the Paphlagonian filters from one of us what we have prepared and makes a present of it to the old man. He keeps us at a distance and suffers none but himself to wait upon the master. When Demos is dining, he stays close to his side with a thong in his hand and puts the orators to flight. He keeps singing oracles to them, so now the old man thinks of nothing but the Sibyl. Then, when he sees them thoroughly obfuscated, he runs amongst the slaves, demanding contributions, and gathers them in with both hands. There must be something we can do. What can be done? Who will get us out of this mess?
The best thing, friend, is our famous let us bolt.
But the eye of the Paphlagonian is everywhere, and what a stride! He has one leg in Pylos, the other in the assembly. His arm escapes exactly over the Aetolians. His hands are with the Aetolians, his mind with the Clopidans.
Then the best thing we could do is to die a heroic death.
Please tell me, what is a heroic death?
We must drink the blood of a bull. That's the death Themistocles chose.
No, not that. But perhaps a bumper of good wine, in honor of a good genius. Maybe we would stumble upon a happy thought.
Look at him. Unmixed wine. Your mind's on drink intent. Can a man strike a brilliant thought while he's drunk?
Why, of course. Go, Ninny. Blow yourself out with water. Do you dare accuse wine of clouding the reason? Quote me more marvelous effects than that of wine. Look, when a man drinks, he is rich. Everything he touches succeeds. He gains lawsuits, is happy, and helps his friends. Go, bring me hither a flagon of wine that I may soak my brain and gain an ingenious idea.
My God, what can you drinking do to help us?
Much, but bring it here quickly. Once drunk, I shall take my seat and strew little phrases, little ideas, little reasonings everywhere.
Lucky I wasn't caught in the house while stealing the wine.
Tell me, what is the Paphlagonian doing now?
The wretch is just eating some confiscated cakes. He's drunk and snoring, lying full length on his hides.
Well then, come, bring me out some wine and plenty of it.
Libation to your good genius.
Ah, inhale the spirit of the genius of Promnium. Good genius, thine the plan, not mine.
Well, what is it?
Hurry, run inside and steal the oracles of the Paphlagonian while he's asleep.
Oh, this good genius is but a bad genius for me.
Come, oh good fellow, bring me some wine, let me see what is in it. Come, hurry, let me read it.
Well, what says the oracle?
More wine.
More wines in the oracle?
Oh, Bacchus!
What's in it?
It says here that a dealer in oakum must first govern the city.
That's one tradesman. After him, who?
After him, a sheep dealer.
That's two tradesmen. And what is that one's fate?
To reign until a filthier scoundrel than he arises. Then he perishes, and in his place the leather seller appears. The Paphlagonian robber, the baller who roars like a torrent.
So the leather seller must destroy the sheep seller.
Yes.
Oh, woe is me. Where can another seller be found? Is there ever one left?
Let us seek him. Yes, there is, but there is one who plies a first-rate trade.
Oh, pray, please tell me who this might be.
It is a sausage seller who shall overthrow him.
A sausage seller. I have decided what a fine trade. And where can this man be found?
Let us seek him. 'Tis the gods who sent him. Come forward, oh lucky sausage seller, our dear friend, our savior, the savior of our city.
What is it? Why do you call me?
Come forward. Learn of your good luck, you who are fortune's favorite.
Come! Relieve the man of the basket tray. Tell him the oracle of God. I'll go back and look after the Paphlagonian.
First, set down your tray and worship the earth and the god.
Done. What is the matter?
Happiness, riches. Today you have nothing, tomorrow you shall have all.
Why not leave me to sell my sausages and wash my tripe instead of making game of me?
Fool, your tripe. Do you see these tears of people?
Yes.
You shall be master to them all. Governor of the marketplace, of the harbor, of the Knicks. You shall throw the Senate and trample upon the Senate. Be able to cashier the generals. Clothe them with fetters, toss them to Gal. Fornicate in the Britannium.
Who? Ma.
Yes, blue. But you do not yet see all the glory that awaits you. Stand on your box and look at all the islands that surround Athens.
I am looking what then?
Look at the storehouses and the shipping.
Yes, I see them.
Is there a mortal more blessed than you? Furthermore, turn your right eye towards Caria and your left towards Carthage.
Well, then it's a blessing to be cockeyed now.
No, but it's you who will give away all of this. For, according to the oracle, you shall become the greatest of men.
Just tell me, how can a sausage seller become a great man?
Nothing simpler. You are a sad rascal, nothing better than a common market rogue.
But I do not consider myself worthy of wielding power.
Why do you not consider yourself worthy? Do you not have such good opinion of yourself? Come, are you of good parentage?
No, of very bad indeed.
Spoiled child of fortune, everything fits together to ensure your greatness.
I've not the least education. I can only read, and at that very badly.
That is precisely what may stand in your way. A demagogue must neither be an educated nor an honest man. He must be an imbecile and a scoundrel. But do not let go of this gift for which the oracle promises.
Just what does the oracle say?
Faith. It is put together in a very fine and enigmatical style, as elegant as it is dear. When the eagle tanner with the hooked claws shall seize upon a stupid dragon, a bloodsucker, it will be an end to the hot Paphlagonian pickled garlic. The god grants great glory to the sausage sellers unless they prefer to sell their wares.
In what way does this concern me? Please instruct my ignorance.
The eagle tanner is the Paphlagonian.
And what do the hooked claws mean?
They mean to say that he robs and pillages us with his claw-like hands.
And the dragon?
That is simple. The dragon, like the sausage, is long. The sausage, like the dragon, is a drinker of blood. Therefore, the oracle states that the dragon shall reign over the eagle tanner unless he allows himself to be cajoled by words.
The oracles of the gods flatter me. But, Faith, I do not understand how I could be capable of governing the people.
Oh, that is simple. Mix and knead together all the business of the state, as you do with your sausages. To make the people happy, always cook them some savory that pleases them. Besides, you have all the attributes of a demagogue, a horrible screeching voice, a perverse cross-grained nature, and the language of the marketplace. In you all is united which is needed for governing. Come, take a chaplet, offer a libation to the god of stupidity, and prepare to take charge.
But who shall be my ally? For the rich fear the Paphlagonian, and the poor, they shudder at the sight of him.
You will have 1,000 brave knights who detest him on your side. The honest citizens amongst the spectators, those men of good heart, and of course myself and the god. Fear not, for you will not see his features, for none have dared to make a mask that resembles him, but the people will have wit enough to recognize him.
Oh, mercy! Here comes the Paphlagonian!
By the 12 gods, woe betide you who have too long been conspiring against Deimos. What means this Chalcidian cup? No doubt you're provoking the Chalcidians to revolt. You shall be killed and butchered, you brace of rogues.
What? Are you for running away? Come! Come! Stand firm, bold sausage seller! Now is the time! Simon Panaceus, to the right wing! They are coming on! Stand firm and return the charge! I can see the dust of their horses' hooves! They are galloping to our aid! Courage! Fight! Attack him! Put him to flight!
Strike the villain who has spread confusion amongst the ranks of the knights! Attack this public robber, this yawning gulf of plunder, this devouring Charybdis, this villain, this villain, this villain! For he is a villain 1,000 times a day, so I cannot say the word too often. Come, drive him, hurl him over, and crush him to pieces! Hate him as we hate him! Stun him with your blows and with your shouts! But beware, for he knows ways out. He knows how Eucrates took straight to a brand sack for concealment.
Veteran Helios, brotherhood of the three Obles, whom I fostered by bawling at random, help me! I am being beaten to death by rebels.
And justly so. You devour the public funds that all should share in. You treat the treasury officials like the fruit of the fig tree, squeezing them to see which are ripe or more or less green. And when you find a simple or timid one, you force him from the Corsines, seize him by the middle, throttle him by the neck, twist his shoulder, he falls and you devour him. Besides, you know very well how to select from among the citizens those who are rich without guile and loathers of lawsuits.
Hey, what, knights, are you helping them? But if you join them, I am being beaten in your cause, for I was going to propose to erect a statue in the city in memory of your bravery.
Oh, Buster, the dull varlet! See how he treats us like old tutors and crawls on the ground to deceive us, but the cunning wherein his power lies shall this time recoil on himself. He trips up himself by resorting to such artifices.
Oh, citizens! Oh, people! See how these brutes are bursting my belly!
What shouts? But it is this bawling that incessantly upsets the city.
I can shout too, and so loudly you would flee in fear.
If you shout louder than he does, I will strike up the triumphal hymn. If you surpass him in impudence, the cake is ours.
I denounce this fellow. He has had tasty stews sent from Athens for the Spartan fleet.
And I denounce him. He runs to Prytaneum with an empty belly and comes out with it full.
Yeah. And he gathers up meat, fish, and bread, which is forbidden. Pericles himself never had this right.
You are traveling the right road to get killed.
I'll probably 3 times as loud as you.
I will deafen you with my yells.
And I you with my bellowing.
I shall calumniate you if you become a strategist.
Dog, I will lay your back open with the lash.
I will make you drop your arrogance.
I will baffle your machinations.
Dare to look me in the face.
I too was brought up in the marketplace.
I shall cut you to shreds if you whisper a word.
If you open your mouth, I shall shut it with shit.
I admit I'm a thief. That's more than you do.
By our Hermes of the marketplace, if caught in the act, why I perjured myself before those who saw me.
These are my own special tricks. I will denounce you to the Prytanes as the owner of sacred tripe, which has not paid tithe.
You're a wretched, disreputable screamer!
The whole world is full of your impudence, so it's crawl, taking all taxes and fees and the force. You stir up like fire and disrupt the whole town and deafen our average by shouting and sound. Money for sin, you take care of us like spying at Judah from high carnival.
I know these tricks. This is an old plot resold.
If you know not of soling, I know nothing of sausages. You, who cut bad leather on a slant to make it look stout and deceive the country yokels, why, they had not worn it a day before it had stretched some 2 spans.
He played the same trick on me. Both my friends and family laughed heartily at me, and before I reached Pericles, I was swimming in my shoes.
And right from the start, when the day was at its out, the city protected one knows to speak out. Right on the grass, and the trees running out, from the strangers and that, for you got all the crowd. You ought to miss the sun, maybe washing in tears, but now someone else that I dare to refuse. See the name is my partner, he'll win through his impudence to the real clear.
Just hear what sort of fine fellow that citizen is.
Will you not let me speak?
No, for I too am an awful rascal.
If he does not give it at that, tell him your parents were awful rascals too.
Once more, will you let me speak?
No, by Zeus.
Yes, by Zeus, you shall.
No, by Poseidon.
Oh.
We shall fight first to see who shall speak first.
Oh, what makes you so bold is to dare to speak to my face.
Because I know both how to speak and how to cook.
Oh, the fine speaker. Ha! If some business matter were to fall your way, you would know thoroughly well how to attack it by carving it up alive. Oh, I will tell you what has happened to you. You have gained some petty lawsuit against some alien. Did you drink enough water to inspire you? Did you mutter over it sufficiently through the night? Spout it along the street? Recite it to everyone you met? Have you bored your friends enough with it? And for this you deem yourself an orator. Ha! You poor fool.
And what do you drink yourself then? To be able, all by yourself, to dumbfound and stupefy the city so with your clamor.
Oh, you would dare to meet me with a rival? Me? When I have devoured a good hot tunny fish and drunk on top of it a great jar of unmixed wine? Then I say to hell with the generals of Pylos.
And I, when I've combined the trump of an ox together with that of a sow's belly, and devoured the broth as well, I am fit, though slobbering with grease, to bellow louder than all the orators, and to terrify Nikki.
I admire your speech very much, but what I do not like is the fact that you swallow all the broth yourself.
Even though you gorged yourself on sea dogs, you would not beat the Milesians.
Oh, give me a bullock's breast to devour, and I'm a man to traffic in mine.
I will... rush to the Senate and set them all by the ears.
And if you do, I will pull out your arse and stuff it like a sausage.
Oh, as for me, I will seize you by the rump and hurl you head foremost through the door.
By Poseidon, not until you throw me there first.
Beware of the carcan.
I denounce you for cowardice.
I will tan your hide.
I will fillet you and make a thief's pouch with the skin.
I will peg you out on the ground.
I will cut you into mincemeat.
I will tear out your eyelashes.
I will slit your gullet.
We will pry his mouth open with sticks, as the cooks do with the pigs. We will tear out his throat, and looking down his gaping throat, we will see whether his insides have any pebble.
Thus then in Athens we have something more fiery than fire, more impudent than impudence itself. 'Tis a grave matter. Come, let us push and jostle him without mercy. You grab him tightly under the arm. If he give way at the onset, you'll find him nothing but a craven. Oh, I know this man.
And this way he has been all his life. He's only made himself a name by reaping the harvest of others. And now he gathers up the ears that he's gathered over there and seeks to dry them and put them out to sell.
I do not fear you. As long as there is a Senate and a people, which stands there like a fool gaping in the air.
What unparalleled impudence! It's ever the same brazen front. If I don't hate you, why, I'm ready to take the place of the one blanket Crotinus pisses. I'll offer to play a tragedy by Morpheus. Oh, you cheat, who turn all into money, who flutter from one extortion to another. May you disgorge as quickly as you have crammed yourself. Only then would I sing let us drink to this happy event. Even then, Ulius, the son of the old wheat fairy, would empty his cup with transports of joy, cry, "You, Bacchus! You, Peon!"
By Poseidon, you? Would you beat me in impudence? Yeah. If you succeed, may I no longer have my share of the victims offered up to Zeus on the city altar.
And I swear by the blows that have so often fallen upon my shoulders since infancy, by the knives that have cut me so, I shall show more effrontery than you, just as sure as I have rounded this fine stomach from feeding on the pieces of bread which cleanse other folks' greasy fingers.
On pieces of bread, like a dog. Oh, you wretch. You have the nature of a dog, and you would dare fight a dog-headed ape?
I have many other tricks in my sack. Memories from my childhood days. Why, I used to linger around the cooks, and I would say to them, look, friends, do you see that swallow? Why, it's a herald of springtime. And while they stood there, their noses in the air, I made off with a piece of meat.
Oh, most clever, man. How well thought out. What swallows did?
They could make nothing of it, or if they suspected some trick, I simply hid the meat in my crotch and denied it by all the gods. So that an orator looking on said that this child will get on. Why, he has the middle that makes a statesman.
He argued rightly. To still, perjure yourself, and to make your arse receptive are 3 essentials for climbing high.
I will stop your insolence, or rather the insolence of both of you. I will throw myself upon you like a terrible hurricane, ravaging both land and sea at the will of its fury.
And I will gather up my sausages and entrust myself to the kindly waves of fortune, as thus to make you all the more enraged.
And shall stand in the villages and make sure the boat does not make water.
Oh, you wretched thief, you will not with impudence have thieved so many talents from the Athenians?
Look out, look out! Here comes a nor'easter, blowing cumuluously.
I know that you got 20 talents at a panagia.
Wait, I will give you one, but keep it dark.
That will please him. Set your sail. The wind has lost its violence.
I will bring 4 suits against you, each of 100 talents.
And I, 20 against you for shirking duty, and more than 1,000 for robbery.
Oh, I maintain that your parents were guilty of sacrilege against the goddess.
And I, that your grandfather was a satellite.
To whom? Explain.
You Veracina, the mother of Hippolytus.
You are an imposter.
And you are a rogue.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Hit him hard! Lash him with your guts and your tripe! And punish him with both hands!
Oh, vigorous assailant and intrepid heart! See how you are routing him in this total duel of abuse! Oh, so that to us and to the citizens you seem the savior of the city. How shall I give tongue to my joy and praise you sufficiently?
By Demeter, I was not ignorant of this plot or these machinations that were being forged and nailed and put together against me.
Look out! Look out! Return with some wheelwright sleigh!
Oh, his tricks and argos do not escape me. Under the pretense of forming an alliance with the Argives there, he is hatching a plot with the Lacedaemonians. And I know why the metal is on the anvil and the bellows are blowing.
Well done, if he be a wheelwright.
And there are men at Sparta who are hammering the iron with you. But neither gold, nor silver, nor prayer, nor anything shall denounce me from denouncing you to the Athenians.
As for me, I hasten to the Senate to reveal your plottings, your nightly gatherings in the city, your trafficking with the Medes and with the great king, and all you are foraging for in Boeotia.
Tell me then, what is the price paid for forage by Boeotia?
Oh, by Heracles, I will damn your hide!
If you have both wit and heart, now is the time to show it, as you did on the day when you hid the meat in your crotch, so to say. But hurry, hasten to the Senate, for he has rushed there like a tornado. He is looking to calumniate us with his bellowings.
I am going.
Hey!
But first, I must rid myself of my trunk and my knives. I will leave them here.
Wait! First, rub your neck with some lard. That way you will slip between the fingers of calumny.
Spoken like a finished wrestling coach.
And lash yourself down with some garlic.
Hey, what for?
Well, lashed with garlic, you shall have all the metal for the fight. But hurry, hasten to the Senate quickly.
I am going.
But furthermore, tear out his metal. Lash him, and do not return until you have devoured his wattles.
Attack with a live heart, avenge me, and may Zeus guard you. I burn to see you return the victor laden with chaplets of glory. And you, spectators, enlightened critics of all kinds of poetry, lend an ear to my Oedipus.
Had one of the old authors asked me to mount this stage to recite his verses, he would not have found it difficult to persuade me.
But our poet of today is likewise worthy of this favor. He shares our hatred. He dares to tell the truth. He boldly braves both waterspouts and hurricanes. Many among you, he tells us, have often expressed wonder that he has not long since had a piece presented in his own name, and have asked the reason why.
This is what he bids us say to you in reply to your question. It is not without grounds that he has courted the shade, for in his opinion, nothing is more difficult than to cultivate the comic muse. Many court her, but very few secure her favors. Moreover, he knows that you are fickle by nature, and that you betray your poets in their old age. Why, what fate befell Magnes when his hair went white?
True, he triumphed over his
rivals. He sang in all keys. He played the lyre, fluttered wings, became a Lydian, and even a gnat. Then he donned himself in green to become a frog.
All in vain. When he was young, you applauded him. But in his old age, you hooted and mocked him because his genius for raillery had gone. And then what about Cretinus? Why, Cretinus was like a torrent of glory, rushing across the plain, uprooting oak, plane tree, and rivals, and bearing them pell-mell in his wake. At the banquets, why, the only songs that you would hear were the lovely do-do-do-do-ro, do-si-fo-do-ro, eat your lies and your deceits that I'd adore, and the haunting ballad, a depth of a lyric muse, so great was his renown.
Look at him now. He drivels. His lyre has neither strings nor key. His voice quivers. But you have no pity on him, and you make him wander around as he can, like Caunus, his temple circled with a withered chaplet. The poor old fellow is dying of thirst. He who, in honor of his glorious past, should be at the Britannium, drinking at his ease. Or, instead of trudging the country, ought to be seated amongst the first row of the spectators, near to the statue of Dionysus, and loaded with perfumes. Crates, again, have you done hounding him with your rage and your hisses?
Truly, was but eager fare the sterile muse had to offer you. A few choice fancies were the sole ingredients, but nevertheless he knew how to stand firm and recover from its falls.
It is such examples that frighten our poet. In addition, he would tell himself that before becoming a pilot, he must first learn how to row, then how to stand watch at the prow, and after that, how to gauge the wind, and only then would he be able to command his vessel. It is such import today that we ask you to burst forth in applause in his favor, so that the breath of your favor may swell the sails of his illustrious galley, and the poet can withdraw proud of his success with his head held high and his face beaming the water.
Poseidon, god of the racing steeds, I salute you. You who take delight in their neighing and in the resounding clatter of their brass-shod hooves. God of the swift galleys, which loaded with mercenaries cleave the seas with their azure beaks. God of the equestrian contests, in which young rivals eager for glory ruin themselves for the sake of distinction with their chariots in the arena. Come and direct our chorus. Poseidon, with your trident of gold, you who rule over the dolphins, you who are worshipped at Sunium and at Gerestus, beloved of Phormio, and dear to the whole city above all the immortals, I salute you.
Let us sing the glory of our forefathers, ever victors on land or sea. They merit that Athens, rendered famous by her worthy sons, should write their deeds upon the sacred Peplus. As soon as they saw the enemy, they sprang at him without ever counting his strength. If one of them should fall in the conflict, well, you would shake off the dust, deny his mishap, and begin the struggle anew. Not one of these generals of old would have asked for Cleonidas to be fed at the cost of the state. But our present men refuse to fight unless they get the honors of the Britannium and precedence in their seats. As for us, we place our valor gratuitously at the service of Athens and her gods. Our only hope is that should peace ever put a term to our toils, you will not grudge us our bomb-scented hair, nor our delicate care for our toilet.
O Pallas, guardian of Athens, you who reign over the my call, bringing in our faithful ally who fights with us in all our expeditions and combats. Victory, who smiles on our choruses and fights with us today. O goddess, manifest yourself to our sight. This day we deserve that you should ensure our triumph.
It is right, likewise, for us to sing the exploits of our steeds. They are worthy of our praise. Yes, you are. In what invasions, what fights have I not seen them helping us? But never were they more admirable than when they bravely leapt upon the galleys with nothing but a coarse wine, some cloves of garlic, and some onions. Despite this, they seized the sweets just like men, curved their backs over the thwarts, and shouted to one another, "Hippopie! Hippopie! Come, come, all pull together!" What? Are you not rowing, Seabiscuit? They rushed upon the coast of Corinth, and there the youngest among them dug trenches with their hooves, while others went to fetch cover. Why, instead of luzerne, they had nothing to eat but crabs, which they found on the strand and even in the sea. So that Pheorus causes the Corinthian crab to say, "'Tis a cruel fate, O Poseidon! Neither of my hiding places, whether on the beach or in the sea, can help me to escape these pesky knights."
Welcome back, oh dearest and greatest of men. How distracted I have been since your absence. But there you are, safe and sound again. Tell us about the fight you have had.
The important thing is that I have beaten the Senate.
Yay!
Everyone now should shout with delight. You speak very well, but your actions excite much more than your words. Come on, lay out in very clear what you've been about. I don't away. Hear what it is that you have to say. So, my dear fellow, be brave and tell all. One must get the joy from your mouth.
The story is worth hearing. Listen. From here, I rushed straight to the Senate, right in the track of this man. He was already letting loose the storm, unchaining the lightning, crushing the knights beneath huge mountains of columns, heaped together and having all the air of truth. Why, he called you conspirators, and his lies caught root like weeds, and dark where the looks and brows were knitted. When I saw that the Senate looked upon him favorably, was being tricked by his impostor, why, I said to myself, "Come, gods of rascals and braggarts, gods of all fools and toad-eaters, and thou too, old marketplace, give me unbridled audacity, the untiring chatter, and a shameless voice." No sooner had I ended this prayer than the preterist farted on my right side. "Ha! A good omen," I said, and I prostrated myself then, and with a vigorous push from my arse, I opened the door and shouted to the utmost, "Senators, I want you to be the first to hear the good news. Since the war broke out, I have never seen anchovies at a lower price." All faces brightened at once. I was voted a Capulet for my good tidings, and I added, with a few words, "I will tell you how you can have quantities of anchovies for an oval 100. Why, all you have to do is merely seize on all the dishes the merchants have. With mouths gaping in admiration, they applauded me. However, the Paphlagonian winded the matter, and knowing best well the sort of language which pleases the Senate, said, "Friends, I am resolved to offer 100 oxen to the goddess in recognition of this happy event." The Senate veered to his side at once. When I saw that I was defeated by this ox dun, why, I simply outbade the fellow, crying, 200, and I moved that a vow be made to Diana of 1,000 goats if anchovies should only be worth an obol 100 next week. The Senate looked towards me again. The other, stunned with the blow, grew delirious in his speech, and at last the Prytanes and the Scythians dragged him out. They all stood around, talking noisily about the anchovies. Cleon, however, begged them to listen to the Lacedaemonian envoy, who had come to make proposals of peace. But all with one accord cried, well, certainly this is not a time to think of peace now. If the anchovies are so cheap, what need we of peace? Let the war take its course. And with loud shouts, they demanded that the Prytanes should close the city, and they jumped over the rails in all directions. Now, as for me, I slipped away to buy all the coriander seeds and leeks there were in the marketplace, and I gave them gratis as seasoning for their anchovies. It was marvelous. They loaded me with praises and caresses, and thus I conquered the Senate with an oboe's worth of leeks, and here I am.
In all of these things, you did very good, getting your way as a lucky man should. The rascal now knows that he set the king, but another man beat him and he in the sheets. The moderator rose with many more tricks that hit previous lies and stood up that six. You need to take care, come on the best, when you fight once again and are put to the test. You know for a while that we are a friend, you're a trustworthy ally, fight to the end.
Ah, here comes the Paphlagonian now. Why, he looks like a hurricane lashing the waves. He looks as if he wanted to swallow me up whole. Ye gods, the impudent knave.
To my aid, my beloved lies. Oh, I am going to destroy you, or my name is lost.
His bluster makes me laugh, and I dance the mammoth for joy, and I sing at the top of my voice, cuckoo!
Oh, by Demeter, if I do not kill and devour you, may I die.
If you do not devour me, and if I do not drink your blood to the last drop and then burst with indigestion.
I will strangle you, I swear it by the front seat which Pylos gained me.
By the front seat, may I see you fall into that hindmost seat.
Oh, by heavens, I will put you to the torture.
What a lively wit. Come, what best to give you to eat? What do you prefer, a purse?
I will tear out your insides with my nails.
I will cut up your victuals at Protendium.
I will haul you before Demos, who will mete out justice to you.
I, too, will drag you before him and belch forth more calumnies than you.
He does not believe you, whereas I play with him at will.
Then Demos is your creature, huh? Your contemptible property.
It is because I know the dishes that please him.
These are little mouthfuls which you place in his mouth like a clever nest. You chew up and place some small quantity in his mouth while you swallow 3 parts yourself.
Yeah. Thanks to my skill, I know exactly how to enlarge or contract this gullet.
My arse is just as clever.
Oh, my fine friend, you tricked me in the Senate, but take care. Let us go before Demos.
Oh, let us go. It is easily done then.
Oh, Demos, come. I adjure you, help me, my father.
Oh, come, my dear little Demos, come and see how I am insulted.
Oh.
What a hubbub! To the devil with you boys! Alas, my olive branch, which they have torn down. Ah, it's you, Paphlagonian. And who, pray, has been maltreating you?
You are the cause of this man and these young people having covered me with blows.
And why?
Because you love me passionately, Deimos.
And you? Who are you? His rival. Deimos, I have loved you and wished to do you honor for many a year, but this rascal here has prevented me and other men of means. Why, you are like young men who do not know where to choose their lovers. You repulse honest folk. One has to be a lamp seller, a tanner, a courier, or a cobbler.
I am the benefactor of the people.
In what way?
In what way? I supplanted the generals at Pylos. I went thither and I brought back the Laconian captives.
And I, while simply loitering, took off with a pot which another man had been boiling.
Deimos, convene the assembly at once to decide which of us two loves you best and most merits your favor.
Yes, yes. Provided it not be at Nyx.
I could not sit elsewhere. It is at the Nyx where you shall appear before me.
Ah, great gods, I am undone. At home, this old fellow is the most sensible of men. But the moment he is seated on those cursed stone seats, he sits there with his mouth agape, as if he were hanging up figs to dry by their stems.
Come, loose all sail! Be bold, skillful in attack, and entangle him in arguments that admit of no reply. It is difficult to beat him, for he is crafty and pulls himself out of the worst corners. Collect all your forces to come forth from this fight covered in glory.
But take care. Do not assume the attack. Get ready your grapples and advance to your vessel.
O guardian goddess of our city, O Athena, if it be true that next to Lysicles, Cinna, and Salabacho, none have done so much good for the Athenian people than I, suffer me to continue to be fed at the Prytaneum without working. But if I hate you, if I am no longer ready to fight in your defense, alone and against all, then may I perish, be sawn to bits alive, and my skin cut up into thongs.
Blah, blah, blah. Deimos, if it be true that I have not loved you, may I be cooked in a stew, and if that is not saying enough, may I be cut on this table with some cheese and then hashed. May a hook be passed through my balls, and I be dragged thus to ceramics.
Is it Is it possible, Deimos, to love you more than I do? And firstly, as long as you have governed at my consent, have I not filled your treasury, putting pressure on some, torturing others, or begging of them, indifferent to the opinion of private individuals, but solely anxious to please you?
Nothing is so wonderful as all of that. But, Deimos, I will do much more. Why, I will thieve the bread of others to serve you. Why, he has neither kindly care feeling for you. His only care is to warm himself with your wood. And I will prove it. You, whose sword in hand saved Attica from the Menelaean yoke at Marathon. You, whose glorious exploits we love to extol unceasingly. But look, he cares whether or not he sees you seated here upon these hard stones. Whereas I bring you this cushion, which I have sewn with my own hands. Rise and try it. Did you not put enough strain on your backside at soundness?
Who are you then? Can you be of the race of Harmodius? Upon my faith, that is nobly done, and like a true
Oh, petty flattery to prove him your goodwill.
Oh, but you have caught him with even smaller baits.
Oh, never had Demos a defender or a friend more devoted than myself. On my head, on my life, I swear it.
So little do you care for him that in 8 years you have seen him housed in caves and crevices and dog carts, where he is blinded with the smoke. You lock him in without pity. Archiptolemus brought peace and you tore it to ribbons. The envoys who come to propose truces, you drive from our city with kicks in their asses.
Oh, the purpose of this is that Demos must one day rule over all the Greeks. The oracles predict that if he is patient, he must one day sit as judge in Arcadia at 5 obols per day. Meanwhile, I will nourish and look after him, and above all, ensure his 3 obols.
Oh, little do you care for his reigning in Arcadia. It's to pillage and impose on the allies at your will. Why, you wish for the war to conceal your rogueries in the midst that Demos may see nothing of them. Harassed by cares, he may only depend on yourself for his bread. But if peace is ever returned to him, should he ever return to his lands to greet himself with good cakes, to greet his cherished dollars, he shall know the blessings you have kept him out of. Although paying him a salary, he will rise up with rage and hatred to vote against you. You know this all too well. It is for this you rock him to sleep with your lies.
Oh, is it not shameful that you should dare thus calumniate me before Demos? Me, to whom Athens, I swear it by Demeter, owes more than it ever did to Themistocles.
Citizens of Argos, do you hear what he says? You would dare to compare yourself to Themistocles. Themistocles, who founded our great city empty and left it full to overflowing, who gave us fresh parades for all our evening meals. You would dare to compare yourself to Themistocles. You, who have only sought to reduce our city in size, to lock us within walls, and to chant oracles at us. Themistocles goes into exile while you gorge yourself with the most excellent fare.
Oh, Demos! Oh, Demos, no! Am I compelled to hear myself thus abused, and merely because I love you?
Silence! Stop your abuse. All too long, I have been your dupe.
Why, Demos, he is a knave who has played you a many a scurvy trick. When your back is turned, he taps at the root of lawsuits initiated by the peculators and swallows the proceeds wholesale, while he helps himself with both hands to the public funds.
Oh, tremble, knave. I will convict you of having stolen 30,000 drachmae.
For a man of your kidney, you shout grandly, but come, I am ready to die if I do not accept you for accepting more than 40 minae from the Malaysians.
This indeed may be termed talking. Oh, benefactor of the human race, you shall be the most illustrious of the Greeks. You will hold sway